Hello there, Hugh. Hello. Hey guys. I just wanted to apologize. We have a little bit of a delay on the video end of the podcast. Where we started streaming live to Twitch, so unfortunately we have a little bit of a delay and difficulties in that. So I hope you just bear with us. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first ever today episode of Toast or Whatever. My name is Nathan Workman, and I am joined alongside by the most beautiful green eyes I've seen, the goodest boy, Shane Morris.
How's it going? We're live today.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want this weird paradox thing going in the background. 1 second.
Yeah, live on Twitch for the first time ever. And, holy moly. I am also joined by an engaged man. Congratulations, Caleb
Thank you.
Workman.
Thank
You
you.
did it. Woo, she said yes.
No one could have seen it coming.
No one could.
Well,
really.
we didn't.
But I didn't either.
You
It was
did.
a real shot in the dark on that one.
Okay, so we weren't there, obviously. We knew it was going to happen. So can you lead us through how it went? Like, walk me through the day of your engagement.
There's not much to say. So she kind of knew it was happening. She didn't know when exactly, but she knew that it was happening. So she was expecting it for the most part. But we were up in Muskoka. We go every year with her family, and we spend a week there, kind of vacation time. And when we went up, I hid my ring in my suitcase. And then it was the second day that we were there. So after our first sleep, we woke up that morning. And one of our favorite parts,
How many more sleeps?
one of our favorite parts of the cottage trip is when we have our morning coffee on the dock every morning.
Right.
So I didn't want to make her wait all day and like have to feel like she has to be ready all day because she's very much a person that's like, my hair has to be done, my makeup has to be done, I have to look good for photos, so that kind of stuff. So I got it done early in the morning right after coffee. I took her out to the end of the dock.
I got it done.
Yeah, I
Such
got
a
it.
burden.
I got it. It was not a burden, but we did it right in the morning. For her, it was a burden because she had felt like she had to be ready for the whole thing. So I took her to the end of the dock, did it there. Don't remember what I said at all.
Did you cry?
No, she did though, which was awesome because she was bragging the whole time. Like basically the past 3 years that we've been dating, she's bragged about the fact that she won't cry when we get
I don't
engaged.
cry.
Yeah, I don't cry at that kind of stuff, and she started crying, so that was pretty fun.
Did you laugh
Nice.
at her face, or were you like, oh, that's sweet?
I started laughing. There's actually a picture, not like at her face, but there's a picture of her like this,
Oh, like the...
and then I'm like.
Caleb's like,
So,
oh, glad that's over.
You can see
Yeah.
me audibly laughing while she's crying just because of the fact that she started crying.
That's amazing.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super happy for you, and congratulations.
Yeah. Starting off on a good foundation, making your fiance cry.
Yeah.
First thing you did.
I started
Perfect.
off my marriage with a lie.
What was it?
That's where the story ends. But then also another exciting thing happened this week. It was Shane's birthday.
Oh, man.
He's 47 now.
48, actually.
And
I'm
you're-
getting so old.
And like
If you guys want to know what the dinosaurs were like,
certain
just ask.
certain like brand, you know my humor. We've talked about our humor before.
Yeah.
When your brother posted a picture of you and Grandpa Thorne,
Yeah.
I died, man.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard, but it wasn't like blatantly funny. Like if I were to show my mom, she'd be like, "Huh."
Yeah.
But to me, it was just one of the
It
funniest
was
things.
just like one of those like face editing app things, and he took a picture of me and like cranked the age up to like 1,000 or something, like just before skeleton, but just before you're just like a skeletones, just before you turn into a skeleton. That was the age he put.
Yeah.
So I was pretty decrepit looking, and he was like, "Hey, happy birthday!" I was like, "Thanks." That was before I had all the plastic surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't actually an edit. It was just before I had surgery.
It was taken 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Welcome back to AM radio. It's...
that's my bit.
Yeah. Sorry.
Welcome back to AM radio.
Okay, before this bit goes on too long, I'm gonna cut it a little bit short there.
Yes,
Yeah.
but for viewers, for listeners, for watchers, we are Toast or Whatever, and we gather around every week. We just didn't last week because Caleb was off getting engaged, but we gather around every week, bringing a topic, talking about whatever the gosh darn heck we want to talk about.
So let's start off this week with Caleb.
Again?
Yes, I'm
Always
just
me.
excited.
I'm still trying to think of my topic.
Okay.
So.
Same. I knew you had one.
Yeah.
So my topic is something that we've talked about for the last 3 weeks.
The movie industry.
But we can finally
Why are
bring it
gyms closed?
to fruition because we actually started the new D&D campaign.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So today I want to talk a little bit about our D&D campaign, what you guys thought so far and where you guys kind of think it's going. And then I also want to give some DM tricks to those of you who may want to start a D&D not podcast. Don't steal our podcast idea.
You got a vicious.
Who want to
ass.
start
We
their
did
own
it
D&D adventures, maybe at home with friends, with loved ones. So what do you guys think of the adventure so far? I know we're only one session in, but
It's horrible.
Hate
I
it.
hate it. Yeah. Yeah, I was so excited and just I love it. It's great. Seems great.
yeah, so I took a bit of a different spin on it. Most of mine are fantasy magic, like
Yeah.
kind of style, but with this one, I'm trying to incorporate magic into like an LA noir style.
And that's really cool because it's like
It's different.
Nathan and I like to screw around. Like even in like fantasy worlds, he created a character named Tony Morgan and my character's name was Jeff. And they were so we like to screw around. So having a little bit of like a steampunk feel
Yeah.
is like pretty cool.
And like the way I always approach like making D&D characters is a little bit of an extension of myself, but like in areas I would never behave or never explore or never act. So like Tony Morgan is Nathan unfiltered, what I'd want to say if I didn't have that filter or if I just wasn't a nice person, right? And then I also try and make characters like the class and like certain aspects of them that I'd never want to do in like a Skyrim game or like that I'd never do. It's just now that exploring those things is kind of fun, right? Because I'd want to be a warrior in the fray of the action all the time.
Yeah.
But for Tony Morgan, he's a bard, right? He's a little weak guy.
He doesn't think so though.
He doesn't think so. But then for this campaign, I had made a gnome cleric, but it didn't fit the world, so I made somebody I actually want to be. And I really like Clive a lot.
Yeah. Clive's
So tell us about your character.
Yeah, Clive is a air genasi, so he's all blue. His name's Clive Basted. And he kind of has like a New Zealand accent because Caleb was like what we do in the shadows really inspired this campaign, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll just do a New Zealand accent for it. He is a hashtag Matt Mercer gunslinger, fighter, and he's the man.
Or so he thinks so.
so he thinks. So he thinks.
He's a level 2 gunslinger.
Yeah.
No, you don't get guns to level 3.
He's still the boy right now.
Still a boy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then how about you, Shane?
My character is, I think a similar approach to Nathan, where I just kind of want to screw around, but also have fun and make it fit into the campaign. So he's a rogue named Sid or Obsidian. He's a human. Oh wait, I can't say too much.
Yeah.
Can I?
You can say as much as you want.
Okay, so
Say what you told him. That
yeah,
I know.
because Nathan's character would know, but he was a human, essentially raised by rock giants or stone giants. So he thinks he's a stone giant. He doesn't realize he's human, and then there was a whole bunch of like wars and stuff, and eventually he ended up in this time in history.
Yes.
He likes explosives a lot,
Oh, too much.
a little too much.
Not good with him yet, but he
Yeah,
likes them.
yeah. He keeps rolling really low, so it's just like they get hit in the face with a pin, and he's very much about taking on new characters. So I'm sure there'll be times where he introduces himself as, "Oi, I'm Clive Beasted," because they're buddy cops or like they're partners or whatever. So he'll take on your identity, I'm sure, at one point and be like, "Oi, I'm Clive Beasted. I like shooting guns and flailing around my ding dong," or something. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
It could be. It's canon. It's part of your character now. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun because I like playing with the idea of multiple personality traits within a character.
Yeah.
It's something that I wanted to explore with my previous character, but that campaign only lasted one
1 week.
one game. So I'm like, oh crap, I want to use that character again, but I can't. It's because I feel bad about doing that. So I
Just
just
a reskin.
yeah, pretty much. Well, not quite. Like very different character, but still
Right.
diving into the like multiple like identity type thing.
Right.
So it's pretty much a mix of Jason Bourne and
Shane Morris.
Nah, yeah, there's a little bit of that in there.
Usually every-
John Wick.
Yeah.
Pretty much he's just the coolest character ever.
Yeah.
I should probably.
So it's actually funny because the way it's turning out is you two have spent like a bunch of backstory and lore and putting all this effort into creating like cohesive characters in this world, and the other two members of our campaign, one of them put like an adequate amount, but they've also never played with me, so they didn't really know what was expected, but one of them put an adequate amount that made sense, and I actually really like his backstory, and then the other one barely put anything, but this is his first time ever playing D&D. So I wasn't really expecting too much, but it's funny because you guys wanted to be like these cool, like badass characters who like roam the West and shoot their guns and stuff. But it's very quickly becoming that you guys are the losers of the world. And the other two are the ones that are kind of like cool and normal, like high fantasy characters.
So like we were saying, pretty much John Wick meets, Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, Clive
just
is,
every character
pretty
that
much just
Keanu
Keanu
Reeves
Reeves.
has ever played.
Clive's is basically Van Helsing.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's Van Helsing?
Van Helsing. Sorry, Van Helsing. It's because it's a little accent, you know.
Yeah, but it's cool. I like the how you guys tackled the first session because there was a lot of stuff that you guys could have missed that you found, but there's also a lot of stuff that you guys really missed out on. I won't go too much into it because the stuff that you missed will still come into play. But one thing that I'm surprised you guys found, which was really a luck of the roll, but there was a very, very important magical item that basically kickstarted the campaign 2 sessions forward.
Wow.
So you guys are going to miss
We're
out
good.
on a bunch of...
Is that what I found?
Yeah.
Or sorry, is that
Yeah.
what I found?
What you found, it basically kickstarts the campaign, and we're going to skip 2 sessions, but I'm also going to add something to kind of fill those because you guys won't be high enough level to deal with what's coming up.
You are really structured with your camp. See, I thought that you just kind of let us like go around and have fun, but you're like, no, I planned exactly which session you would find this in,
Well,
unless.
Caleb's
Wow.
like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're like, he opened up the thing with like, it's gonna be a light heist mission, and he almost TPK'd our whole. Everyone.
Yeah, he's like,
Well,
just an intro level character here. The character one-shots me. I'm like, oh, great.
So they were, to be fair, for you D&D nerds, they were versed 3 quarter level character, like quarter challenge rating characters, and then there was one that was a 3/4 challenge rating, which is
I don't even know what that means.
a level 1 should easily be able to beat all of those characters. The only thing I did,
You were rolling 19s and 20s, right?
you guys were rolling 19s and 20s to
Not
start.
me. I wasn't. Only for stealth.
Yeah, and then once you guys got to the actual fight, you guys started rolling like crap.
Yeah.
But I literally rolled 18, 17, 18, 19, 20, 18, 18.
You
like,
critted me.
It was
That's what made
it
me
was
fall.
crazy. But you guys also could have handled it a lot better. The way I would have done it is, I don't know why, but you guys and a lot of the people that we play with, you guys like to spread out and try to do as much damage to as many different characters at the same time. But which works sometimes depending on how wienerish the characters you're fighting are.
Oh, weird.
But in this, because you guys were all like level 1s and level 2s, it would have been more beneficial for you guys to go to one character, take them out. That way you're getting dealt less damage because all of those characters had 2 attacks. And when you're so low level, it adds up pretty easily.
Right.
So it would have been a lot more beneficial and easier for you guys to deal with it if you would have focused one character, because then you're automatically eliminating 2 attacks per round.
But on the other hand, the way that we did it, we struck fear into those bad guys.
I had to save you with an NPC.
And it was a pretty sick introduction.
It was a
that
really cool
NPC.
introduction. I'm glad I got to bring him in there.
Undead orc
Or
Yeah.
Captain.
with dual guns. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and
So little
I love
Caleb-
his home brew abilities.
Caleb thinks that we screwed up and got ourselves killed, but we just knew that session 1, if we, took a dive, we would get a really cool, character come out of. We know Caleb's style. Every time we start screwing up, a magical dragon comes. And he's like, "Hey, idiots!"
The one
Let me save you.
The one campaign, our very first one that we actually played a lot of. Caleb Majora masked us, and we didn't know if we screwed up so bad that it needed to happen, or if it was always part of a plan.
Are we?
But he's like, no, it was always part of a plan.
Yeah.
It's just you guys got there a lot faster
That was
than I thought.
yeah.
Are we ever gonna finish that campaign? Because
I
I'd
wanna
love,
play it.
I'd
I
love to
wanna
tell
know
you
the
guys.
storyline.
I'd love
I
to tell you
so
guys
wanna know the
everything about that
storyline.
campaign.
We finished off and Caleb was like, Tony Morgan, your real name is Elias Hellstorm, and you have to find your father. And I'm like, what? And then we never played again. Mind you, it was hard because Shane left to Vancouver at the time.
Yeah.
And all of our friends have commitment issues.
Yeah, they all got. I committed more online than our
you did.
friends not even in person.
But yeah, do you guys want to
Just
know
throwing
about that
some
campaign?
shade.
Because that campaign, there's
Oh,
No, I want to see if they'll still play it.
Okay.
They're still,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
still
There's
interested
still
in them
hope.
wanting to play.
There's still
so.
hope.
there's a lot of cool things in that campaign.
know.
That
I
one's
know.
the one I had
Ah.
the most time to like put effort towards.
And it was
all
so
that stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Stop getting married and having children, friends.
Yeah. Or
If you're-
get married, but be a cool friend still.
Yeah, like Nathan's married. He just ignores his wife like a cool friend. He's like, I'm married. I got a wife. I just ignore her and spend time with my friends. That's the way to do. If you're thinking about getting married,
It's not true.
viewer/listener, ignore your significant other and spend time with your friends. That's terrible life advice.
But yeah, this new
Be
new
divorced
campaign
real quick.
this new campaign is a lot lighter. It's a lot more like kind of happy go lucky. There's going to be a lot of really weird cool stuff. I'm not going to get too heavy with like and the king of the south rose and there was death and destruction and there was an emperor that ruled and your job is it's going to be more like hey there's a bunch of crazy stuff
Because you know
happening.
we'll ignore the king and we'll go
Yeah.
find some weird tangent to go down and be like, this door is unlocked. You should probably get a lock for that door, and then like start careers as locksmiths or something stupid. You know it's gonna go off the rails anyway.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be very satisfied with the bad guy in this world. There's a
Nice.
few, but there's one that's like kind of the head of it all who you guys won't encounter for probably a while, unless by some stroke of luck you like randomly find where he is. But he's very reminiscent of
No spoilers.
like almost like a Gideon from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Which
I've
one's
never
Gideon?
seen-
He's the
Scott
main.
Pilgrim.
He's the main bad guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's kind of like goofier, and he's more. His motivations aren't super clear, and they're kind of wacky. But he's still like an evil person to the core. So I think you guys will really like him.
I like when the villain. So not just D&D talk right now. I like when the villain is like, you're like, am I supposed to like him?
Yeah,
And you don't know. Like, I feel a lot of people like that.
yeah,
Where
for
you're
sure.
You just watch it and you're thinking to yourself like, am I a bad guy?
Yeah,
Because
It's-
I agree with this.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not so
it's-
much like whether they're a likable character or not. It's what are their motivations, and can I see where they're coming from? Like Killmonger and Black Panther, like his motivations were like understandable. Even Thanos and
Yeah.
stuff
I was gonna say it's the Thanos effect, and it's like the. Have you guys seen the new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
And we walked out of it, me and Ange, and she's like,
I've
I
never
agree.
related
She's
to
like,
the
I
character.
agree with the Joker. And my eyes wide. I'm like, I may be married to a psychopath. But no, like you could see why reasons,
Yeah.
why he did what he did, and the reasons behind it, and how they are not necessarily justified, but they kind of are.
They
in
make
the same
sense.
Way.
yeah,
It's having a villain. There's the black and white lines are getting tired in storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's cool to explore the gray.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the other thing too is Angie oftentimes dances downstairs.
Yeah,
So the similarities.
very similar.
Yeah.
All in all, I'm excited to continue that storyline with you guys because I think there's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of goofy stuff, and there's going to be breaks from the norm of what a D&D campaign is. Like you guys can know this, you would know this, but like VR exists in this world, and
Oh.
Why wouldn't it?
esports is kind of a thing in this world, and like there's a lot of like really weird stuff where you can like transport to different universes through VR.
Okay, so quick question about VR.
Yeah.
Is VR like VR in real life where you like put on a headset and you're like, oh, I'm in a video game? Or is it like VR where you live an entire
Like
life?
Ready Player
Yeah.
And then you like wake up and it's been like a minute and you're like,
Yeah, so there's two types of VRs in this world. There's typical VR, and then there's another one which I won't get too much into because you guys wouldn't know about this. But it essentially transports you to this world where you can't get hurt, but it's still like you're living there kind of thing. It's very reminiscent of like Ready Player One,
Right.
but the things in this world are very different because obviously like Transformers and stuff don't exist in the universe unless you guys wanted to. And then I'll probably throw one or two in.
That'd be cool.
I mean, Shane has a little stone pet that can transform. So
Yeah.
That was it. That was a cool. I love your pet.
Yeah.
That was a good homebrew.
He's a
idea.
little puppy.
Yeah.
So that brings us to my topic, which I prepared ahead of time. VR. Definitely prepared it, not just propelling off of Caleb's topic. But no, I think VR is super cool. What do you guys like? What are your hopes? Like, have you played any VR games?
no,
No. Do you want to?
no,
Why?
no.
You have no interest.
Next
in
topic, please.
Wow.
I winked at Caleb.
Yeah.
I gave him the wink that said, "Let's pull a Shane on Shane." It's like, do you guys like it? No, it sucked.
That was mean.
Now you know how I feel every week.
I'm sorry.
And I don't like it, so now I'm going to do it to you more to get payback. Vengeance will be
Nathan's
mine.
the one that did it.
Nathan's the one that does it to you.
You do it too. You guys both build off
Hey,
each
it's
other.
not about who does what.
That's neither here
It's
nor
neither
there.
here nor
Sorry.
there. Yeah. it's-
No, but VR is such a cool thing, and I wish I could afford it. But looking,
yeah, look at us. We can't afford things.
now, I'm the kind of guy that's like, I don't want the $100 thing. I'd gladly spend the extra $700 to get the best experience. So for me, like, there's that option of getting the Oculus Quest. I think that's pretty affordable, and there's no wires, but you miss out on a little bit of graphic fidelity. And
I think you can plug it in and it still has like higher quality.
you can,
Yeah.
but compared to the
The Rift.
it's not. It's like Major League and Bush League, right? Like two different things.
But it's a good starting point too. Like for
Yeah.
people who are definitely like really want to get into it, I think the Quest is like the perfect mid-range because it's
Right.
definitely better than putting that stupid cell phone Samsung headset on.
oh, yeah, those are.
But obviously it's not going to be as good as like the Rift or the what's the Steam one? I forget what it's called, but the big expensive one that Valve made.
Isn't it the Rift?
Is
No.
that the one? No,
No,
Rift is.
Oh, that's Oculus.
yeah.
Index.
Is it the Hive? No.
No.
No, that's the. That's.
Isn't it the Index? Or the
I can't remember.
Anyways, like that one's supposed to be like the number one. Yeah.
I think that it's super. Like the concept of it is super cool, and we're starting to get there.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
just
if
not,
you
we're
look
not
back,
there yet. No.
Once we get to the point where it's like affordable for like completely immersive, it's gonna be a whole nother animal. I
It
think
will
it's gonna
be,
be. I think it's gonna be weird because we already see people escape to video games
Yeah.
and escape to other worlds. Like I remember when WoW came out, and I'm like, this is my new world. This is where I
Yeah.
live now. Or like for you, like RuneScape, and for me back in the day, it was Tibia. It was like, this is my new home. I live here. And it's like,
Neopets.
yeah, Neopets. Neopets was another one. Adventure Quest.
I played Hotel Penguin.
Yeah.
What was that thing called?
No, there's Club Penguin,
Club
Oh, yeah.
and
that's
then there
where all-
was
Hotel Chibi.
no Habbo Hotel.
Habbo Hotel.
Me and my
Nice.
friends, but
Well, I
we
didn't
were
actually
way too
play, so-
we were way too old to play this game. But Habbo Hotel is basically a game where you can like acquire currency and then like buy things to upgrade your room or your looks and stuff. And it was the stupidest game ever.
It's
But there's
Animal
this
Crossing.
thing where you could block off rooms by standing in front of them, so people couldn't leave. So me and my friends would get on together and we'd just go find a room with a bunch of people in it, and we'd stand in front of the door.
That's hilarious.
You
And they didn't
troll.
fix it for the longest time. It was like you could do it for the longest time that the game was up, and then they eventually fixed it when we were in high school.
Oh
Did
my
you
God.
ever scam people in like RuneScape and stuff?
Oh, I tried to, never successfully.
Never
Dude,
successfully.
I don't know why this dude did it, whether it was his scam, but it worked in my benefit. But all I had to do was kill chickens all day long. And by all day, I mean till dinner, when my mom would call me up. And he wanted the feathers from it. He didn't want the meat. So I'd trade him, batches of 100 feathers, and he'd literally give like 2,000 gold pieces for it.
Yeah.
And like I'd come back to that same spot every day for a month or whatever, and he was there. He's like, "Yeah, I'll buy your feathers. I need all these feathers." So I wonder what he was doing with all those feathers.
So I don't know
I'm
if
making
this
a
is
really
true.
big pillow.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that there was a lot of characters created by in-house people at the studio, and they would send them in like make it easier for new players to find a way to make
That would make sense.
things
Kinda
a
like
lot
an
more.
NPC, but not
Yeah,
an NPC.
but it's actually controlled by a character,
Yeah.
like someone real.
Oh,
So they would stick them in like specific areas, and they'd be like that. And then I think it caught on to the point because you even see this now in Fallout 76. But there'll be characters who just want to be like a tradesperson, so they just set up a shop somewhere, and then you can go up to them, and they'll give you like fair prices. And there's like a rising and declining market on
How do
certain
you get
items.
that
and stuff.
job? I would love to be like hired by a company, and they're like, "All right, we pay you your salary."
No, these
and you just kind of hang out.
These are just random
these
people
are
that do
like
it
me
now.
and you who are like, okay, I'm gonna log on to Fallen 76. I'm
and
gonna
just
open
be a
up
shop
this.
owner.
Yeah.
Some people just open up a bar and they bartend for people.
Yeah,
Like,
so they'll collect
role
like
playing
wine
bartending.
Well, you know what?
and booze and stuff.
At first, I was kind of like, "Huh," but then I thought about VR chat for full circle.
Yeah.
I thought about
So
VR
you're gonna
chat,
get that?
and you go into like one of the locations, and it's like a big bar, and we go in, and there would be like just one guy that's just like appointed himself as the barkeep, and it's like, dude, you can do this in real life and get paid to do it. And he's like, what are you gonna have? What do you guys want? You want a scotch on the rocks? What do you want? You want a cranberry gin? You're
That's
like,
exactly what they're
and it's like-
doing.
you're
it's
like-
amazing.
man, you love this, eh? Like, it's just like you've always wanted to be. I'm like, man, like I know what you do in real life, whether it's like accounting or something, but maybe you should just change careers. I mean, you're enjoying this. Go become a barkeep.
Yeah, and for VR, I've only ever used the Samsung headset that Brett had years ago.
Yeah.
That's the only VR I've ever experienced. But like I'm so in that gaming ecosystem where I see the videos and the games coming out, and I unfortunately have to live through the eyes of another. But the thing that sold me on VR was like, okay, I know it's not there yet, but I really want it. Was the Star Trek Fleet Commander, because it could be you and like 4 or 5 friends. What's that, Caleb? You have to go poop.
No, I have to make a call.
All right, so it's just me.
All right.
So
Well, now that Caleb's gone, what do you really think about Caleb?
just a jerk, just a big leg jerk.
Yeah,
Going
going to take a poop.
You'd have like 4 or 5 of your friends all around in whether it's like a retro, like the USS Enterprise, but you all had your job, right? So the captain had to give commands. There was a gunner, whatever, a whole bunch of different jobs. But
This was VR.
It was VR. It was so cool. But out in front of you, so say your job was like the weapons specialist.
Okay.
You had like 80 buttons that were one for one from like the show, and you'd have to figure out what buttons do what and what to press and how to coordinate with your team at the right time.
That's
And
crazy.
it was one of the coolest things I've seen for VR.
That's
other
a
than,
really
like,
good idea. That's actually a really good idea for a VR game.
for like a stream, right? I think it would do so popular as well,
Yeah.
because it's entertainment. And then they have like they had this escape room game. They had games like keep talking and no one dies, where you have to defuse the bomb.
That's a great. I love that. We
Games
played that
like that.
game like
at Ryan's parents'
it was
house all
so
the time.
much fun.
Yeah, keep talking and no one explodes or dies or whatever. It was one of my favorite games
It's so
that we used
intense.
to play.
It's so.
We should play again.
play that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we honestly should. That's really fun.
because it gets the old noodle working.
Yeah, and if we want to really up the stakes, we'll just use a real explosive.
Yeah.
So that we really have to get it done. That's a joke in case.
In case there's a Matt listening, he's like, you guys should disclaim when you joke.
I meant like in case there was like somebody like a officer or something. listening. Like it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I don't want to blow myself up.
Yeah, yeah. Or if there's a Matt, like, it's how there's the Karens of the world, and then there's the Matts of the world. It's like, you guys should disclaim your jokes so that no one.
You guys make an offensive joke?
Serving pork.
Only about explosives.
Serving raw pork to people will kill them. You should tell them that that's gonna kill them. It's like, well, yeah.
He was kind of joke. I think
No,
just,
he wasn't.
okay.
Or,
Matt, I got your back. I
this
got your
isn't
back.
anyone in particular.
You just
so-
said it's Matt.
No, I said it's like the Karens, the Matts,
The Kyles.
the Kyles, the Chads.
No, Kyle's and Chads are way different. Kyle's are like Monster Energy drink.
And Chads are like, want to go make out.
Chads are like, hey, what's up? I'm Chad. You wanna like
What I miss?
make out or something?
We were just talking about Star Trek Fleet Commander VR.
But also just gonna throw this out
I
there,
was trying to remember what it's
Matt, I got your back. I got your back. Your back, Matt. If I have to kill Nathan, I'll kill Nathan for you.
No.
It's not even a joke.
What's on your life?
I would never kill Nathan.
Paint.
Sure.
From Paint. What do you think of VR, Kim?
VR, I like the idea. It's not to the level where it's like I need to do this yet, but
Yeah.
I know it will be eventually, and when it is, I'll definitely be like first day like, oh, I need this.
Do you guys think it'll get to the point where they just like plug something directly into your brain?
I would never want that, but
I'd be willing to bet that if like something doesn't wipe out humanity in time, they'll get there.
So
Because they've already started mapping things like how like brain function works from the electrical impulses.
cashless society.
I had a friend over last night, and he was listening to Joe Rogan's new podcast with Elon Musk and how they are developing those chips that plug in, and like it's crazy. I think Elon Musk is a nutbag, but he's so genius and he's so smart and he's scary.
He's a very smart nutbag.
Because he's like, these chips that we can implant in people's heads, like Shane said, whatever about brains and impulses and stuff. But like your brain can record and remember that AI that they put in you. It can record and remember the feelings of love. So it can also simulate the electric impulses that your brain sends to feel love.
Do you think he's the Antichrist?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like, I mean,
I just
that's-
heard chips in your head, and I was like,
That's gonna
wow.
make online dating really weird.
Yeah.
Because then somebody hacks you and you're automatically in love with them.
Okay,
I don't know why, but I'm swiping
this-
right.
It's crazy ideas.
This
man.
this is totally related, but maybe not appropriate. I was on YouTube and there was an ad on the side of it, and it was it's out of pure curiosity. It was like find your love in VR, and I was like, what? But it advertised this thing with it. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I did some like research on it, and essentially what they're selling is it's like this sex toy, but it comes with a VR experience. But they make it so that whatever's happening on screen is happening in this this sex toy.
Do we have the
So
family?
did you buy it? No,
No, we took
didn't
the
put
family
on
tag.
there.
But
Yeah.
I was like, what day and age do we live in where like love isn't even love anymore? Like it can be a simulated response to like a feeling, you know what I mean?
Welcome to the Matrix.
It's so
Yeah.
it's scary to think about that, because like how long is it going to be before no one's dating anymore because they can just have an artificial relationship
robot?
with a robot? That's essentially what it is. And they're developing the program with this sex toy thing so that you can basically put anyone that you want into this machine. You can take models of people. It's
That's
really
super
scary.
creepy.
And going forward, can we not call it like a sex toy? Can we call it like an STD, like a sex toy
Device?
Device.
It's a sexual transference
An
device.
XTD.
It's an STD.
STD.
That won't get confusing at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, are you happy with your purchase?
No, 2 out of 10 would not recommend.
Oh, I'm so funny.
You're funny.
STDs.
Yeah, well played.
Oh, what
Yeah, so
in-
back to Happy VR.
what? Well, it could be.
Well, squeal?
Yeah, sorry, I was breathing and wheezing. What interests you guys more, like VR or AR?
VR for sure. AR is kind of lame.
What? You don't? So
Yeah.
you're telling me this is gonna sound really dumb? You wouldn't play Risk like it was a real board game if like this AR popped up and you can see the simulation.
But you can already do that in VR.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear a stupid headset.
I don't mind wearing a stupid headset.
Corona, dude.
It's my headset.
just going around licking each other's headsets.
Yeah, just
Yeah. I think, that's a tough one because
I think AR.
AR has some really cool things, and I think AR might have more real world applications.
for sure.
For
yeah.
sure. Like if you're like designing a building and you got your blueprints right in front of you, or your windshield of your car, I can
Yeah.
like show you like your GPS is right on the car,
Yeah.
and like it's like, warning, you're about to crash or something, right?
You know what? You guys are right. I take what I said back. AR
No,
is.
no.
I think ARs can definitely be
No,
way
you can't
cooler
switch
because
it.
I'm just picturing Tony Stark, like every scene
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
ever in his garage. Like that. There's nothing cooler than that to me, especially if, like, just imagine now that you said it, imagining picking up like a game piece and like moving it and then zero cleanup.
Yeah. And
that's
Or even
remember Pokemon Go when that came out?
Yeah.
How everybody was like, oh, imagine that, but like good.
Right.
Like you don't need a device.
No,
when
yeah.
it gets to the point where I don't need a device to use AR, that's when it's like
Well, you'll have your thing that maps out your table,
Right.
right? And imagine playing something like Age of Empires or Halo Wars.
that would be really
where
cool.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna highlight these guys, go attack over there,
Yeah.
the base over there, and just watching it like happen in real time in front of you.
We could have real Yu-Gi-Oh duels.
Exactly.
That would be
yeah.
so sick.
I think the big difference of the way to look at it is like VR is like escaping to another world, where AR is turning your own world into something super cool.
Imagine a room that's all like AR
Isn't that just a
compatible.
holodeck on like Star Trek?
Yeah. So imagine that, but you walk in, and another person walks in at the other end, and then they pull out a Pokeball, and they throw their Pokeball, and like a Charizard pops out, and then you pull out yours, and like Venusaur pops out, and it's just like this epic battle, and like you can. But even bigger, imagine it was like a real thing where crowds
full
came
arena.
to see this, and like it was
It
like,
would be.
that
If-
would be awesome.
Yeah, I
That would
guarantee
actually
you-
get me into Pokemon.
You
'Cause
weren't into
Pokemon's
Po-
stupid, but
You're-
now if that
well,
happens,
okay,
oh boy, I'm in.
Because imagine like
Wait.
you just play like let's say there's a game on your phone that's like an actual Pokemon game, and you like
Yeah.
train and trade your Pokemon, and then like once a year like they have these tournaments set up, and you go to this huge AR room. It turns it into like a Pokemon stadium. There's crowds all around, and you can battle these Pokemon that you pour your life into.
Better yet, instead of training them on your phone, what if you put on glasses? And as you're walking around in like grassy areas, Pokemon come up and you have to like fight them with
Yeah.
your, and like you like can like take your Pokemon like you're like boxing with Pikachu or something, you know, you're doing the full like
Train- yeah.
Ash Ketchum training stuff. And then you go to those stadiums.
That would be awesome.
And
That
it's
would
like
be so
all
cool.
unified so everybody sees the same, like it's not like yours is limited to your device. It's like those stadiums. I
I'm
bet you that would
sold.
be the new esports. The new
I'm
esports
sold.
is AR.
I'm sold. Elon Musk, if you're listening to
Yeah.
us, drop your satanic chips that get implanted in
Oh,
the
yeah,
heads.
give us AR.
And give us a real life Pokemon AR where we can go to stadiums
Yeah.
and
All
battle
we
each
want
other.
is real life Pokemon.
That's what we really
Well,
want.
he talked about that too, right? Of this thing that can just project images. So it's like, oh, I want to watch Gladiator. I don't have to put it on the TV anymore. I can just go like blink, and then Gladiator starts playing.
Anything that has
I
to
don't
get
like that.
implanted into
I don't
me
like that.
scares me
and
automatically.
see, then that's the
Put a chip in me.
that's the conversation of people who look forward to it. Like, I don't want to deal with the real world, and then
Yeah.
that's on the other side where it's like, no,
I just want the real world, but cooler.
Me personally, I'm like, no, I like the real world. I don't
Yeah.
simulation things and AIs scare me. The
Yeah,
robots.
you end
The
up down this
robots.
rabbit hole, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's real? And like, I think that's another problem is if it gets too real, you won't know what's real, and you'll start freaking out. You'll always think you're in a VR. Like,
The-
imagine a
Inception.
VR so realistic that you go into it and you think you're living out a whole life in that. The game ends,
Mhm.
and 5 minutes have passed. Now, when you're back in the real world, what if you're in another VR? What if you were playing VR in VR?
Yeah.
Inception, or are you gonna question, is this real? And then you end up going crazy.
Yeah.
AR, you're just like, hey, there's Pikachu over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are already kind of like put their life and soul into like video games and stuff to the point where they can't stand the real world. And I just can't imagine. Like, it would be a huge pandemic, I think, of people just losing themselves in this VR or AR world, and they come back to the real world and they just can never be happy or satisfied and stuff.
Yeah.
But even now, like, thinking about it, it's like if I were to live in like a world that was created, it's like Caitlin's not there. Like, Caitlin would never exist there, or would have never existed there without me thinking of that. And there's like my friends wouldn't, like, they would have never came to be in that world, right?
I'd
without
still be there.
yeah, Shane would be.
transient being.
Shane's the only
Yeah.
consistent thing in
Like,
every
I'm just
aspect.
300
But like
years
there's so
old.
many things in real life that are so important to me that I could
Yeah.
never just throw it away and be like, I'm gonna live in this VR
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Now we're ending up and we're gonna go down the routes of like simulation theory and crap.
Yeah, yeah, we're lining it up.
Oh, yeah. Next topic.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Yeah.
What's the
That was a
next-
nice lighthearted VR topic. Long story short, we all really like VR and we're excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, but not too far.
Not too far.
Don't put a chip in me.
Yeah. And Caleb has some questionable internet search history.
I was just so curious. It was just like one of those things like, this
Like-
can't be real.
You're like, what is this, a BuzzFeed article? You know how they get you? Where they put like such a ridiculous title and you're like, oh, I gotta... That can't be right. And you click
Another
it.
weird thing that YouTube's been doing to me is I'll there'll be like a normal ad on the the banners at the bottom of the videos
Yeah.
and stuff. So there'll be like a normal one, but sometimes it probably does it on purpose, but like there's this one ad in specific. It's for like health, like skincare or something, and it has a woman on it, and then there's like all the products next to it. But sometimes it'll just zoom up to her breasts, and on the banner, that's the only thing you can say. And it's not like overexposing or anything. Like she's dressed modestly, but it's just like, I see what you're doing there,
Yeah.
YouTube.
I'm gonna let you in on a hot secret here about YouTube ads, Caleb, because you're not a child. They're all custom tailored to the viewer. I'm not even lying. It's 100% ads are targeted to your online profile. It's crazy, even
That
when you're
is
not signed
crazy.
in. Yeah. Unless you're a kid.
I
because
watch
then
too
they
much
can't
Smosh then.
collect- Yeah.
I get ads for Sanic.
You're such a
I'm not
liar.
even- I'm not even. Nathan gets. Yeah, I don't even want to say what ads Nathan gets.
How else did you find Shane on the balloon YouTube Reddit?
I made that up because I knew the story. But seriously, you guys should
Yeah.
join
Also-
r/balloons are big.
Yeah, and also, I'm running YouTube ads for me with balloons. Can you just imagine that being? Can you imagine that being in the bottom of somebody's video? It's just me holding balloons. It's just like balloons.
And the other thing sorry, we're going on a tangent on ads, but there.
My topic, ads.
Yeah, there. You say AIDS. Sorry.
Well planned. Well planned.
Though
Well
there's specific instances in my life where I'll be like with Caitlin or her family, and we'll just be talking about something like, "Oh, I just saw this cool ad for like sunglasses," and I'll say the name.
no ads are cool.
I'll say the name of the brand, like whether it's like Movement or whatever, and Caitlin or Debbie, her mother, or her sister Meg will be around, and they would have never known of this product, never heard of it, never searched on it on an engine. But as soon as I say the word Movement, it'll
dude,
like on Instagram
It's
right
crazy.
away it'll pop up.
you
Like
want-
that's nuts.
this is how quick it was. I was on YouTube, and one of the YouTubers I was watching promoted Ridge Wallet. He's like, "Oh, Ridge Wallet," and so I went to their website just to like see like what is it, like one of those like pop out wallets. Went on the website for maybe like a minute, closed it off. The next ad that came up on my next YouTube video I was watching, Ridge Wallet.
That's
More Ridge Wallet, Ridge Wallet, Ridge Wallet.
crazy.
Because they're like, "Oh, he was interested. He came to our website,
Yeah.
promote it to him." And I was like, "Whoa."
Well, even
So-
without, oh, go ahead, finish your thought.
So whenever you guys watch my YouTube videos, make sure before you do that, go on websites for like gold, super expensive jewelry, anything really expensive, so I get more money from the ads.
So my question is, why is it targeting me for skincare when like nothing in my life would ever have to revolve around that?
Well, you just said it was targeting you with boobs.
No, it was
And-
from a
and-
skincare ad.
And that
It
weird
just-
VR. You know, I'm sensing a pattern here,
That's
Caleb.
probably why you're.
Yeah. You know what? That's
You're like,
probably
"Oh,
why."
I'm searching these things because of curiosity.
Okay, genuinely, just so the viewers know, and in case like grandma and grandpa are listening to this, I live a very clean life. I don't watch porn. I don't do like all that stuff.
It's a curious one though.
Because I know someone from our family is gonna watch this and be like, "What's
Like,
Caleb getting
Caleb?
into?"
know
'Cause-
you.
Yeah, but
Caleb,
you guys
what
are like
did you buy?
describing like they're targeting you with boobs. It's
Yeah.
like no,
Okay,
I
so-
don't do that.
Just to clarify, in case somebody wants to know, we are not joking right now. Oh, no, we are.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, we're not laughing. Yeah,
For
so
the audio listeners, I'm looking straight at Caleb's eyes.
you're not looking at his eyes. Eyes up here.
You both have greenish. Shane's eyes are green. Caleb's eyes are kind of green. I'm super jealous.
We're cool.
Like I have kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
brown eyes. Well, yeah.
For audio listeners, me and Shane just
We
pounded.
just fist bumped. Nathan just attempted to fist bump, but nobody
got denied
nobody
from
touched
both
him.
ways.
But like, you don't even have to visit those websites, right? Because me and Ange tried the experiment. I'm like, Ange, watch, we're gonna get an ad for this. I'm like, you should get some more lingerie or whatever. And with the next day, I got ads for lingerie.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like Caleb, it doesn't just mean like places you've visited.
Mhm.
Like your profile consists of things like. Now I'm just going on your defense in case your family's listening. It goes on. It goes on things like gender, age,
Yeah.
average or your income. It goes on interests. So hobbies could be like video games and whatever. So if they
Yeah,
see
I
like
get a lot of video games.
Yeah. if they're seeing like guy in his 20s into video games,
Probably single.
X amount enough
Things are
disposable
starting to make
income,
Hence the skincare
Yeah.
boob ads.
enough disposable income to buy things. Yeah, hit them with the sex VR.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's a marketer's dream. Unfortunately, they don't see the rest of your life. They didn't see the D&D portion. Actually, no, that would make it more.
I
Yeah,
get a lot of
D&D.
D&D stuff.
I've been getting ads for minis.
I get
right
so
now.
many Dice Tower ads, like buy this new Dice Tower. I actually get I think the thing that crowds my ad space the most is Kickstarter stuff.
Really?
Yeah, Kickstarter board games and Kickstarter D&D perfect. Like whether it's a Dice Tower or like an extra book that they're like new magic to add to your D&D campaign,
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
Well,
My-
let's try a little experiment right now.
Mine's based. Why are you using my
I'm
phone?
not gonna Google anything.
Oh.
I need a new lemon squeezer so bad.
A lemon squeezer, you say?
I can't wait to get a lemon squeezer.
I've
I-
never tried a lemon
Man,
squeezer.
I
Can you
would love a
recommend
lemon
any
squeezer.
good brands?
If only I knew what type of lemon squeezer to get.
Hopefully someone tells us.
Lemon squeezer is what I want to buy.
So now, if
Yeah.
Shane gets an ad for lemon
We
squeezers,
know.
within the next day we know.
Is a lemon squeezer a real thing?
Yeah, they're great.
Okay. Wait,
But
lemon
I need
squeezers
one.
are great. Yeah.
So next week we'll come with an update to whether or not
Yeah.
Shane has gotten an ad for a lemon squeezer.
The ads I get all revolve around whatever topic I'm researching to like make fun of in a YouTube video. So there was a time when I did a couple videos on like those like YouTube marketing experts that for my course for $5,000 I'll teach you basic marketing. I got exclusively ads for those guys for like a month and a half.
Mhm.
And I was like, buddy, I'm not going to buy your product. I'm literally doing the opposite. I'm telling people not to. Stop wasting your ad money on me.
That's so funny.
I mean, I'll take the advertising dollars because those ads pay good, but yeah.
To me, it's so scary. This was a heavy technology based episode, but
Yeah.
the idea that so much information, even not necessarily information that you type in or put into a search engine or anything, but it can just always be tracked back to you, and like
You don't even have
it's
to be signed in.
yeah.
So there's like this weird thing where essentially there is a more or less a digital counterpart to you.
Right.
So there's you in the real world, but then there's a profile out there comprised of all of your information based from every internet activity you have, that's basically putting together a digital version of you that knows your interests, your hobbies, your wage, your location, like everything. And it's creepy. And
That
it's
is
like,
creepy.
and that's why, like, because like before I'm like, why is Mark Zuckerberg getting in trouble? Like, yeah, he's selling ad space to people, whatever. But then when you like start realizing how much information there is on you, you're like, nah, I can see why people would be upset. I really don't care. I'm like, go
Yeah.
ahead, sell me ads. I really
Yeah.
don't care. Like, I put my life up, like, not my life up, but I put a lot of stuff up on YouTube. So
Yeah.
I'm not expecting too much privacy. I'm like, that's that guy that put a fake mustache on and a bag on his head. I'm like, yeah, I mean,
It's-
that's on the internet.
there-
So
there's
I
like
don't
a
care
new
if somebody
branch.
knows what to market to me.
There's a new branch. It's like how you see you, how your friends see you, how God sees you, how the internet sees you.
Pretty much.
That's
Pretty
so
much.
crazy.
It's like and like it all boils down to marketing. Like, is this guy worth marketing to?
Yeah.
Yes. No. If yes, what products?
I wonder how much money advertisers have spent on me. Like me specifically as a person.
A lot, probably.
What if they
More than
instead
you
just
know.
gave me the AdSense that they spent on me, just gave it to me? I'd then buy their products. 100%. If you give me advertisers out there, if you
Okay.
give me money, I don't care what it is, even if I don't use it, I will use that money to buy your product, and then I will shamelessly self-promote everything that you send to
Well,
me.
okay. Let's be more specific with this. Hey,
Yeah,
Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallet. If you choose to sponsor this podcast or my personal YouTube channel, I'll buy a Ridge Wallet. Just give me one for free. I'll promote you. I mean, this offer isn't withstanding in future times because
On that note, my topic is ads. I was gonna talk about. We're running out of time here because Caleb
Oh,
has
yeah,
commitment issues.
he's
Has
getting
to-
really yeah. And we
But,
tried to blitz through our morning meeting. We got right to the point real fast.
Yeah, real fast.
Caleb
Uh,
took his time getting into the meeting.
It's half my fault, half Caleb's fault. Why this episode will be a little bit short.
This episode's already over an hour.
But
Is it?
Caleb,
Nice.
Caleb, the people want us to go for 3 hours. I
Oh my
heard.
gosh.
But my topic was gonna be I was gonna read comments from YouTube videos, and then you guys
Oh,
had to guess what kind
nice.
of video it belonged to. I put a lot of work into it.
We can just do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Are you sure? We can do it now.
No, Caleb has to get going.
Ah.
Oh, sure. Let's do it now. Stay. Cancel your thing. No, but once again, thank you everybody for listening. This has been Toast or Whatever. We're very glad you're along to watch or to listen. Tell a friend. give us 5-star ratings, a thumbs up
On Yelp.
on Yelp. Go to youtube.com/Shane Morris Vlogs. Just type in Shane Morris. He's not the football player.
Yeah.
Just search Galcast, Game of the Week cast on any podcast service, and My Turn Gaming. And get ready for some cool announcements coming up because we got big plans.
And if you work for Ridge Wallet, or if you want to pressure Ridge Wallet for us, go ahead and pressure Ridge Wallet.
If you work for Ridge Wallet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to Toast or Whatever. It would mean the world to us if you could drop a like and subscribe to our channel. If you don't always want to watch a video, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and most podcast services. We hope you have the best day ever.